Hi guys, I'm Shmi, and as we come towards the end of the year, I wanted to do a little bit of a recap, some of the highlights for me of 2015, and one of those has been the cars I've been fortunate enough to drive this year. Now, I'm of course not a journalist as such, but what I do is try and share these experiences with you, and this year I've been fortunate enough to get behind the wheel of quite a few of the current crop of hypercars. So I sort of see a list of 6 different hypercars at the moment. We've got the hybrid trio, and we have the entries from Bugatti, Pagani and Koenigsegg. And this year I've been able to drive 5 of those 6. So this year I've driven the Bugatti Veyron Vitesse WRC, the sort of final edition convertible version of the legendary iconic hypercar, the Bugatti Veyron. I've driven Pagani's Huayra, the update of course to their Zonda. Koenigsegg's Agera R, not necessarily the top because you have the 1-to-1 in above that, and we have the Agera coming, just like we have the Bugatti Chiron coming next year. And then the hybrid entries, the Porsche 918 Spyder and the Mclaren P1. The one I haven't driven is the LaFerrari, and I hope I'm going to get that opportunity at some point in the future. But for now, I wanted to talk a little bit about these 5 cars, because I don't think there are that many people out there who have been able to drive each of them. And now I can't necessarily be the most technical, but what I can be is the real world, kind of what it's like as a relatively ordinary person, albeit a person who's becoming quite used to these supercars, but what it's like getting in that car and taking it for a short drive. And this year, of course, I drove them all inside a 12-month period. So it's been pretty crazy, I'm not gonna lie. Let's kick off with, basically I'm just gonna recap some of the clips from when I did drive them. And we'll start with the legend, which is the Bugatti. Now, the Bugatti Veyron, I joined the Bugatti team at the Nürburgring 24-hour race, which was an awful lot of fun. I had an opportunity to go in the Supersport, and then, of course, to have my first drive in the Bugatti Veyron Vitesse WRC. 1,200 PS, 1,500 Newton meters of torque, mind-blowing performance figures, and a huge amount of technological work and engineering that's gone into creating this car. So needless to say, I'm rather excited. I'm going to have official Bugatti driver Andy Wallace joining me in the car. Let's go in, go for a quick passenger lap round, and then swap around.
So I think I'll try from a standing start.
Okay, if you like.
Let's see.
One way to jump straight in.
Yeah, there we are. Almost one clearance from the tower.
Yeah. I'm just holding my head back ready for the...
I was going to say, I'm having far too much fun. Do you fancy a go?
Yes, please. Right. I'm excited. So far, so good?
Yeah.
Unbelievably flat.
Just isn't it?
Also, it doesn't feel as desperately heavy as you think it might.
The weight is very low down.
Yeah. No question, the Veyron is a king of a generation. It's been around for over a decade now and it's still a phenomenal car. But let's move swiftly on to my next visit, which was to the home of Pagani Automobili in Italy, where I had an opportunity to jump into the truly awesome and inspirational artwork piece that is the Huayra. 6-litre V12, 730 horsepower, 1,000 Newton meters of torque. I'm seriously excited about this. Let's first jump in the passenger seat, go for a little ride in the car, and then swap around. Here we are.
We are
Quite excited. On the steering wheel. It's a pretty cool place to be. So much turbo noise at the pit. Just getting myself familiar with everything. You can really feel the torque in here. But the car doesn't feel very big.
Yeah.
The car feels smaller than I thought it would.
Yeah.
It's certainly not difficult to position it on the road and drive it.
Yeah. It's easy to drive.
I quite like the gearbox sort of feel and the interaction you get off the back of it. I clearly need to learn it. I'm not driving very well yet, but the sound and the whooshes is just amazing.
Yeah.
I think I've got quite a big smile on my face. Special, very special. It's what, 1.2 million euros?
Yeah.
That's the right,
Right,
yes.
yeah.
It's just so beautiful. Inside, everything's made so nicely. I'm trying to take it all in. I'm trying to take it all in. I love the glass windows on the roof.
Yeah. The overview is fantastic. Good.
The full look around, this is awesome. Carbon fiber glove box. This is just all so cool. The light control, wiper control. After the beauty that is the Pagani Huayra, let's move on to the Porsche 918 Spyder, the first of the hybrid trio. Now, my first opportunity actually driving a 918 came towards the end of 2014, and I had a really good run out in that car. I did get to drive two more 918s this year, 2015. First, a car at VMAX down the runway to around 300 kilometers an hour, and then second, of course, I joined It's White Noise on Gumball 3000, so I had a good stretch in the 918 there. But let's recap some of those moments in the 918 Spyder. This thing has 887 horsepower, 4.6 litre V8, 279 horsepower from the twin electric motors, all-wheel drive, and let's face it, this is Porsche's new hybrid hypercar. Let's jump in. Pulling away in E mode, silent running. Totally new experience for me. Kick the engine into life by using the manual paddles. There is no question this car is phenomenally fast. This is absolutely insane. I'm only here for a couple of minutes, so it's a pretty special experience. I've hopefully got a big smile on my face because, wow, the noise with the exhaust pipes right behind you, the exit just on the rear deck, right there, is wonderful. Obviously it's a Porsche, so the feel of the steering wheel, the actual steering itself is brilliant. The all-wheel drive helps completely position it. You know exactly where you're going. I'm driving with all aids on. I don't want to be a Superman here. This is all about the first initial experience with the Porsche 918. You feel like it's quite a big car. I mean, it is bigger. It's quite comfortable. I'm not unhappy at all where I'm sat. I think the seats are quite on the firm side. Long drives might be a little bit intense, but then again,
it's actually quite easy to drive. It doesn't seem particularly dramatic, so I'm just going to spin around, head back down the hill. It's absolutely amazing.
It's undisputed the 918 is a brilliant car to just be able to drive as well. It has insane performance. You're seeing the statistics and figures and Nürburgring times and all of that. But let's move on now to the slightly more track-focused, I suppose, equivalent, the Mclaren P1. A car, of course, I had been looking forward to driving for a very long time, and in the last couple of months I've had two opportunities to get behind the wheel. First, a very kind owner in Germany, and I was able to take a black car out just for a little drive, but then also when I was in Dubai I had a good nighttime run on the motorway in another P1 out there, so let's remember some of those clips.
P1, the 916 horsepower hybrid hypercar from Mclaren. You can see it here in race mode. Spectacular machine.
Here goes.
So, thank you very much for making this possible.
It's wonderful for me that you're in this car with me.
It's going to be quite a step up from the 650S. But I did the test drive in the 675. I love the start when you're in race mode.
Yes.
But let's put it back down, ready for the road. It takes 30 seconds. It has to lower the wing back down to normal and then raise the suspension as well. This is quite special. It just feels like you take the normal McLaren and you just dial it up and make it even more raw and crazy and hardcore, and wow, this is a seriously exciting car to drive. You're very lucky. So we have some space in front of us. Fantastic machine. It's an insane machine. It's also so easy to drive it properly. The one car I've been really looking forward to driving for a very long time is the P1. Oh. Now I can take my list. Tick. Driven the McLaren P1. Oh goodness me. What a spectacular thing this is. I can only imagine if you're on a track and really driving hard what this is like. Must be an astonishing piece of kit. Here we go then. Back at the wheel of the McLaren P1. This feels good. The flutters of the turbos. Amazing.
The P1, of course, a very special car for me to be able to drive, especially being such a McLaren fan, as you know through my own car choices. I think even my 650S behind me there. But let's go now to the Swedish corner, the Koenigsegg Agera R. So in years gone by, I've been able to drive a few of Koenigsegg's older models, the CCR, the CCX, the CCXR, but this was my first opportunity in the Agera R, thanks to Pace Germany, the German Koenigsegg dealer, who invited me out to take the car for a little bit of a drive, and this was a really, really special day.
Okay, this is pretty cool. Let's start it up. Okay, This definitely seems to be happening. This is real. I don't need to pinch myself and wake up. I'm driving the Koenigsegg Agera R, and not only am I driving an Agera R, I'm following an Agera R. I've got a 918 Spyder and a Veyron following me. This is surreal. Massive thanks to Seaside Cars in Zurich, who are currently selling this car, for allowing this to be possible. This is going to be one of those moments I'm never ever going to forget. Oh my gosh. I don't even have words. I don't know what to say. Dreamland. I'm sorry. I'm just ludicrously speechless at the moment. We're going out on the Autobahn. I haven't got the roof on, of course. It stores away in the front, so you might not be able to hear me, but whoa. Just whoa. Reality check. Koenigsegg Agera R, over 1,000 horsepower, in fact, over 1,100 horsepower. I'm obviously driving with traction control on in the completely normal mode. I'm not going to take any chances with this thing. This is well over €1 million worth of car. It obviously feels like a pretty big car, especially here in the narrow roadworks section. But this is just... This is an event. When you talk about a really sort of expensive hypercar being something that is just insanely exciting and special and different and stands out and you're never going to forget it, I think that's what we've got right here. It's a little bit awkward in terms of what you can see. You know, the mirrors, this side's fine, rear visibility, not really. There's just a wing back through the little tiny window behind me. But does that matter? No, not at all. Awesome displays around me. Everything's controlled through this central interface. Just feels like an insane machine. Oh my gosh. This is sheer insanity. This probably is one of the best days of my life. Porsche 918 Spyder just sat behind me here. What an unbelievable day! Oh my goodness. Basically, you haven't missed anything anyway, because the only thing I've said is, wow, oh my gosh, this thing is insane. And that pretty much sums it up. What a surreal experience driving this car. And that's the Veyron behind us. This has been absolutely breathtaking. The thing is just like a spaceship. It's insane. It's so crazy. Everybody anywhere near you stops and gets their cameras out. Camera phones from every single car. And it feels like such an event to drive. It's so different and so crazy compared to anything else. So much drama. I'm just a little bit lost for words. Well, I'm completely lost for words.
I don't think I will ever forget that day driving the Koenigsegg Agera R with pace. It was an unbelievable convoy, and what a stunning, just all-round experience. I think probably the Agera R, to me, out of all of these five, was the one with the most sort of drama and the biggest sort of event about it. So it was the one that had me most excited for a sort of one-time drive. Of course, they all have their massive perks. The Bugatti has this exceptional sort of sensation of just power. It's sort of effortless, it zooms away, it wafts away, but in a way that it's quite hard to describe. You sort of get satisfaction from how much available power there is to you. The Pagani Huayra is truly, truly elegant. Very, very few cars around the world have the beauty, art, the sort of craftsmanship and design of a car like the Huayra. Then we have the 918 Spyder, the hypercar you can drive every day. The Targa roof you can take off and stow in the front. It's a sort of phenomenal car. I couldn't imagine anything better if you wanted to daily drive a hypercar. Then you've got the P1, which is a sort of spaceship. It's a UFO on the road. It looks crazy. You pop it in race mode, and let's face it, with the Trofeo R tyres fitted, it's a bit of an animal. As we've seen recently in the various tests, if you have those tyres on the P1, it's pretty much one of the quickest of these cars. Then the Koenigsegg Agera R, the ultimate sort of event for me. That car was so exciting, and I can't wait to see what we're going to be looking at with the new car, the Agera. Of course, some very interesting technology in that car. Also, Bugatti Chiron comes out this year. That car is going to be phenomenal, and I can't wait to see a little bit more. Heard some sort of rumours, of course, but looking forward to seeing the finished car at the Geneva Motor Show in 2016. So for me, it's been pretty special this year, driving 5 of these hypercars. I'd love the experience in the LaFerrari to be able to compare and come back to you with a full sort of video, so maybe that will happen in due course. If you know anybody, let me know, but you know, for now, wishful thinking, and I will just be very happy with the cars that I have been able to watch. So there we go, a quick sort of recap, overview, my thoughts, my initial impressions, like I said, not being a full technical journalist, just being fortunate enough to enjoy these experiences and share them with you, of course, on these videos on my Shmee150 YouTube channel. So thank you very much for watching. Of course, I hope you had a very Merry Christmas and you have a Happy New Year, and I'll catch up with you again very soon. Cheers!
This is so special. This is so special.